Whenever it comes to authorization, it actually comes up that how will we find who is the current user in the system? And for the same, I have a solution. Solution is very simple. Um, what? How can we define a current user? Yeah, we can define a current user with the help of the JWT token, which contain information such as the user ID. We can query dot user ID to our database, and then we have our user. Simple, And this flow is we are going to implement in our today's video. So let's get started. You can see my code, and let me move to the main.py file. In this main.py file, if I take you a bit down, you can see you can see a endpoint, for example, create an admin user. At this part, you can see I have placed a current user. Okay, current user annotated as models.admin, which is actually the admin user model in my this project. We can see this part, admin model, which has ID, name, email, phone, password, and schools as a list. Okay. And the next part is that it depends on this function, get current user. So what this get current user function actually is? So if I take you a bit up at this point, this get current user function actually takes the value of the token, and we get the value of token with the help of this function, that is OAuth2 scheme. OAuth2 scheme is actually a security module provided by FastAPI Security, which actually detects the password bearer in your API call. For example, your header. I mean, especially your header. For example, if I just move to this part and try to open one of my Postman session. All right. At this part, you can see in the authorization part, there is a type of bearer token, and I have placed this JWT token in it. If I copy this simple JWT token and place it to jwt.io, you can see here, you're going to find there are two things. One is the user ID, second is the role. So user ID will help us to find the current user in the database, and role actually specify in from which table we have to find our user. In this case, I'm actually going to find my this user from admin models. I mean admin table. Okay. As you can see this part, this is my admin table. Let me log in. This is my admin table, and I have to find my user based on this UID. So as you can see for now, D23DD. Okay. If I go to this part, you can see clearly at this part that D23DD is actually this user in my admin table. So J, JWT, JWT token actually belongs to that user. And this function, which I just showed to you, the password bearer, first takes the token from this authorization path. So how will it actually go to this authorization part? It will go with the help of headers. There are 10 hidden items, and you can see the authorization, its bearer, and my JWT token. Okay. So it actually means that authorization is a part of a header, and my this function auth2 password bearer will collect the authorization token with the help of this token URL, and token URL has the name as token. Okay. Now, if I go a bit down, you can see this function at here, and I have actually created a session. So get session actually helps me to create a session in this project. For example, at here, dev get session, it's simply a generator which actually yields a session for me. Okay. Now, one is done. Now I've got my token. Next part is actually to decode the token, because you can see, and here, in order to understand the content of my JWT token, I had to decode this token first. Okay. So here is a function which will help me to decode this function. If you want to find a bit deeper, here is the definition of function which I have written. It simply uses the keys to actually decode my RSA based RSA based algorithm to decode this JWT token. And you can see it will return the data, which is a payload, and its status 0 if everything is fine. Otherwise, it gives other status signals. For example, if token has expired, it will return status 1. If it's invalid token, status 2. And if there's some error, it's status 3. Okay, all well defined at this point. Now it will return this thing. So when I come back at this part, so our this decoded token is a dictionary, is a Python dictionary, and this dictionary has UID and role. Okay, and here you can see, um, here you can see at this part, the dictionary has data and status. So here I have to go for decoded token, then I have to go for data, and this data have UID and role in it. Okay, so it simply took the UID and role and place it to this function as an argument. So it's the get user by ID. So if I just move to my crud.py file, here is the definition. First is it takes the engine, okay, this is the session. Now it takes the user ID and it takes the role, okay. So first it takes the role and find which user model will it be. So the user models are defined at this part, the admin, new school, teacher, and student. So if it's an admin, it will returns this user model, and we will use it in this select query to actually select the user based on this condition from that relation. For example, in this case, it's going to select the user based on email from my admin table, and it will simply return the first match to my function. Okay, so now it's like here it made the first match, and it will return to my caller function at this part. Once it get this thing, now there is a second logic, there is a next step logic, which is to find whether it returned the user or not. If it has returned the user, then everything will be fine. Like it simply returns the user. Otherwise, it will throw an exception at this part. It throws an exception because there may be some bad credentials, unauthorized and all, and our server will stop working there on. Okay, and at this part you can see, if I move it down, here the current user has two values. Number one is the role, and the second is the admin. Okay, let me show you. If I try to hit this test endpoint, it will return something to uh, my this endpoint, and I simply print the current user. So let me move to the Postman, and here is the test current user, and I have to first copy this token. So I will just simply copy the whole token. Now it's loading my request. Okay, once it's here, now I just simply go at this part, place my token at here, and I simply send it. And let's wait for a few seconds. And here you can see my output, current user output has this part. One, it returns the user, which is the admin user. I mean, it's from the admin model. Okay, so here you have the complete detail of the user from the admin model, and it returns the second part as a role. The role is admin. Okay, so this thing will help me to recognize who is the current user, and second, what is the type of the current user. And by this way, I actually implemented the authorization part where I actually have to detect first what kind of user it is. Okay, and then I can apply rules accordingly. For example, if you come bit down here and you can see if I have to create the admin user, only the user with the role as admin can create a admin user, no one else. So if there will be a teacher, no, teacher can't create an admin user. School can't create an admin user. Student cannot create an admin user. Only admin can create an admin user. And by this way, I actually implemented the authorization into my ERP project. So if you find this video valuable, don't forget to like this video, share with your loved ones, and also for more content, subscribe to the channel. If you want some kind of freelancing services, then the link to the form is in the description below. I'm your friend Abhishek Roka, and I will see you next time.